Om Sahana Vavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Aureli is here, Gauri is here, Varmas are here, Jairam is here, Juliana sick, Kenichi here, Mary there. Okay, yeah, they keep changing places, so I am looking here and she is over there. Yeah, Prabhavati and Ramaraju, they usually come in a little late, so we'll wait for them and see what happens. Lakshmi there, Oscar there, Palak there, Rudra there. Okay, there. Yeah, little bit shifted to the left, to my left. Okay, yeah. And then Rajesh there, Rakesh there, and then Ritik in the usual place, and then Samrat. Okay, and then Sanket there, Shrikant there, and then Swamini Satchidananda, not in her usual place but there. Tarun I saw, where are you? There. And Thiago also sick, and then Tripti there, Mahesh there, Vinita. Good, came back to your new place, very good, yeah. Daniela, I saw somewhere, yes. Deepthi, Gangadhara, okay. Shifted back, okay. Miho, there. Narendra, Nivedita out of town. Pavan, okay, there you are. Pooja, अच्छा पीछे, okay. Purna right there, Richi I saw, Satish there, Shambhavi there, Shrikar, wonder where he is, Sudhanshu, and then Bhaskar, okay, very nice. So 3 people unaccounted for today. Let's see, questions. In the meditation, we were trying to witness the thoughts. Is this witness the Atma? You can say for the time being, yes. The working definition of Atma, or however you will get close to objectifying, as it were, the Atma is what? In the form of Sakshi. The Sakshi, the Swarupa of the Sakshi is Atma. You cannot just say Sakshi is Atma, the Swarupa of the Sakshi, meaning the content, the nature of the Sakshi, the content of the Sakshi is Atma, because Sakshi means what? Witness. That too is not the final understanding, because the witness is what? Is that which is seeing as though something. What is the witness seeing? Sakshya. So if I am watching my thoughts, who is the Sakshi? I. What is the Sakshya? Thoughts. So you see, both Sakshi, the status of seer, witness, and Sakshya, that which is witnessed, are both mithya. Both mithya means what? Not false. Mithya doesn't mean false at all. Mithya means dependent upon Sat, which is Atma, which is myself. Both are dependent on myself. Yeah, come. Yeah. So both are dependent on myself, and so that means what? I am neither, what is the truth of me? Neither Sakshi nor Sakshya. Neither witness nor witnessed. But then what am I? If I am neither the witness nor am I witnessed, who am I? I am the truth of both witnesser and witnessed. Because witness also, there is a last frontier of duality in that particular status. What is that last frontier of duality? It is because there is two things. What are the two things? Sakshi, Sakshya. Atma means it is neither Sakshi nor Sakshya, but without the Atma there can be no Sakshi nor Sakshya. Is it clear? Say yes even if you don't want to. So, next one, page 2, okay. Avasthatraya Sakshi. How to witness the other two avasthas? Is there any methods? Well, there is no method, because the Sakshi doesn't need a method. Sakshi means it is a natural illuminer. It just illumines everything. And so it doesn't need a method. It doesn't say, I am a private detective. I have been asked to do some detection on the other two avasthas. What will I need? I will need a starter kit, and I will need a magnifying glass. I will need a methodology. No such thing. It's like when there is a flashlight and something to illumine, the flashlight doesn't have to be told what to do. Just like the sun, when it rises in the morning, we don't tell the sun, please first illumine the eastern horizon, then please come up and then illumine the center, and then as you go out, please illumine the western horizon. It doesn't need to be told. It is a natural function, as though function, because there is really no function. So, as though function, and so therefore there is nothing, no function at all, and then that is why it doesn't need to be told what to do. So there is no method really. The method what you are asking is something slightly different, and I am going to talk about that, because I am a waker. Do you need a method? By which method did you come to know you are awake? Is there a methodology? No. Is there a pramana used? No, because I already know. Just like I know I am awake. If you need a pramana, pinch yourself. That is the pramana. And then when you say ouch, then you know you are awake. But you don't need to do that. I am here now. Similarly, the dream is also evident. Dreamer and dream are both what? Aham. The dream world which I project and the dreamer are both myself alone. This I is as though split into here also dream Sakshi and dream Sakshya objects. Both are like that. Very interesting. So waking Sakshi, waking Sakshya objects, and in the dream I become what? Dream Sakshi with dream Sakshya. In the dream it is even more clear, unlike in the waking state, that the dream Sakshya objects, the dream objects that are observed, are non-separate from Sakshi, because everything is me. If you dream of your cohort of people with whom you are studying, all the people at the ashram, are you really dreaming of them? No. All of them are you alone. You give them a body in the dream, their body is your body only, and you give them a mind, you give them a body as it were, and when the dream wraps up, nothing to show for it. All your friends are not sitting on the bed. Why did you dream me? They are not asking. So therefore, the dream state sometimes is not evident in the dream. Do you know in the dream whether the dream state is there or not? while you are dreaming, do you know I am dreaming? No, you don't know. You take it to be real. Just like the waking world you take to be real while waking, the dream world also you take to be real while what? Dreaming. So when the dream, Svakale Satyavat Bhati, the dream shines as though it is real when? During the time of dream. That is why if the person is running away from some robbers, where? Dream robbers, in the bed also the person makes some motions of trying to run away because it is so real. It is terribly real. Svakale means in its own time, Satyavat Bhati. Satyavat means like even Satya, Satyam Iva, like the truth it shines. And then Prabodhe Sati. Prabodhe Sati means when you wake up, Asad Bhavet. When you wake up, where is the dream world? Gone. Where is the dreamer? Now a waker. Correct? And so the Mithyatvam of the dream, or to put it in Vedantic terms, the fact that the dream is dependent upon the Atma is often understood after the dream experience ends. Same thing with sleep. Are you asleep? What will you say? Hopefully, no. Yes, in the class. Even if you said yes, what are you saying? No, because you can't say I am asleep. Correct? It will not be true if you said yes. If I ask the question and you were silent, then I can infer that you are asleep because no sound is coming out. That means you are asleep. So sleep is also like that. Sleep is the jnanam, the knowledge, the illumination of nothing in particular. The illumining Atma is there in sleep because the illumining Atma is there in all the three states, waking, dream, sleep, in all the states. So the illumining Atma, the presence of the illumining Atma is where? In sleep also. But there is no Sakshya, nothing to illumine. So it's like a rose that blooms in the desert. Who will praise it? Who will enjoy its aroma? No one. That is what the illumination of the sleep state is like. Why? Because the illuminer is there, but the medium for where the illumination is caught and reflected is not there, such as the mind, buddhi, etc., which catches this illumination, that chit, which is the illumining Atma, which is caught by what? The mind, and turned into a kind of a reflected consciousness. There is only one consciousness, okay? Don't get worried about this, just an expression. The consciousness obtaining in the mind is called Pratibimbita Chaitanya, Chidabhasa or Pratibimbita Chaitanya. So this Chidabhasa, if it is there, then everything about the body mind sense complex becomes illumined. But then the mind, which is the local illuminer, is not there. It's like electricity is flowing, but the bulb is out. Bulb is gone to sleep. So the bulb is not functioning. So therefore, even if you switch it on and the electricity is there in every other bulb, in this bulb it is not there. Because that medium through which this fact, I am asleep iti, becomes known, has gone to sleep. It is not there. So this is the sleep state. So you are not asking the methodology, I think, of knowing. You are asking how to witness. How to witness means how to falsify these states in the light of the knowledge of the self. What is the self? Is the self waker? Waker is the self? Well, yes, because you are awake right now, and are you here? Are you here or not? Yes, so you are here, and the sleeper is nothing but the self, and then dreamer is also non-separate from the self, but the self transcends waker, dreamer, sleeper. Self is neither waker nor dreamer nor sleeper, and then what is the? But without the self there is no waker, no dreamer, no sleeper. Like pot and clay. Without clay, can there be pot number 1, 2 and 3? No. So therefore pot is nothing but clay, but is clay pot? Clay is pot, pot is clay. Can we say it both ways? No. Pot is clay because clay is intrinsic to the presence and the existence of the pot. Clay is intrinsic to the presence, the existence of the pot. Is pot intrinsic to clay, to the existence of clay? Think about it. Because otherwise, yatra yatra pot, tatra tatra clay, we can say, but can we also say the other way? Wherever there is clay, there must be what? Pot. Can we say that? No. Pot belly may be there, wherever there is clay. Pot shaped belly. But wherever there is clay, there must be pot, we cannot say, because we know that the clay is in many, many forms. Not just pot. It could be in the form of this wonderful thing, lid. So not just pot, it's in the form of a lid. It could be in the form of a jar. It could be in the form of a Krishna figurine. Many, many avatars are there of clay, and each and everything made of clay has to draw its existence from the clay, sustained by the clay, and when it dies, when the pot becomes crackpot, where does it go? Back to clay. This is how it is. So the sleeper is nothing but Atma, dreamer nothing but Atma, waker of course is Atma alone, but Atma is neither waker nor sleeper nor dreamer. It is that which sustains all three because it is limitless without becoming as it were any one thing. So therefore it is said Atma is not dreamer, not sleeper, not waker, but pray tell, what is it? Turiya. One new word is given. Turiya, short for Chaturiya. Short for Chaturiya. And here also there is a pun. Chatura means fourth, Chatura also means extremely clever. Clever means all-knowing here, omniscient, all-knowing Atma, neither the sleeper nor the waker nor the dreamer, and therefore they say fourth state. There is no fourth state. If you keep looking, where is Turiya, where is Turiya, Turiya will be gone forever. You will never get Turiya. Why? Because the looker-upper of Turiya happens to be what? Turiya. Looker-upper, the searcher, the seeker of Turiya is who? Turiya. So, therefore, we have to see that the Turiya is the one that wakes up as the waker, complains as the waker, something is hurting here, something is hurting there, where is my tea? This is Turiya as the waker. Turiya as the dreamer is having anxiety and flailing its arms and legs. Turiya as the sleeper is doing nothing at all, but funny, strange sounds are coming from the nose and mouth. Okay, so this is the same Turiya. Turiya, nothing can be separate from Turiya, but Turiya is separate from all three states. So that is what we have to understand. Now, it's easy to falsify the sleep state, yes or no? Yes. Because upon waking you say, oh, I was asleep, I didn't know anything. That's not real, I was asleep. In sleep there are no transactions. Nobody goes to the bank in sleep, nobody goes to the office in sleep. In sleep there is a standstill of all activity. Then dream also, it's easy to falsify. At the time of the dream I may not be knowing I have a dream. Let's say I get a lottery in the dream, and sometimes they make this big check which 4 people have to carry inside just for publicity purposes. Here you have jackpot, dream jackpot, okay, yeah. In the waking, no such prarabdha exists for anybody except some few people. So at least in the dream, enjoy the dream check. So then you dream you are felicitated, somebody comes and puts one mala, and then somebody comes and gives you a bouquet, and then this big presentation thing is there, and cameras are going, video cameras, still cameras, flash, 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 click, 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 and you are holding this big check. Where? See, people forgot already. Yeah. In the dream. This is a dream check. And of course, the prarabdha is such that it's not enough to even enjoy cashing the check in the dream. So you wake up. You wake up with the check uncashed in the dream, and you wake up with a big smile. Oh, I'm going to buy a dream house. With this money, I will do down payment with this jackpot. And as soon as you come to the realization that now you are the waker, the dream is falsified, dreamer is falsified. Okay, let dream and dreamer be falsified. Let the check be real. Is the check real? No. Check is also falsified along with the dream and the dreamer. And so therefore, with that check, you cannot purchase a dream home, except if your definition of dream home is home inside the dream. Then you can purchase it. Then you can purchase it. You can't purchase dream, you can't use dream cash to buy a home in the waking state. So dream is of course easily falsified. Now we come to the rub. What is the rub? The rub is that we need to, this is why we studied Vedanta, we need to learn how to falsify, naturally how we falsify the sleep state, naturally how we are not entangled in the dream state. Similarly, we falsify the waking state as well. For this we need a lot of hand holding, like a baby holding the hand of its mother. We need Mother Shruti to hold her sari and to be instructed, to be repeatedly instructed that this waking state is also as unreal as the dream and the sleep states. But that is very difficult to understand. Why? Because here I have a dual function. What is that? Eat and sleep? No. I have a dual function. I am karta and then bhokta. Eat and sleep are both bhokta. So, cook, eat and sleep. You can say karta, bhokta. In dream, what am I? Agent of action or recipient of the results of action? Recipient, bhokta. What about in sleep? Definitely recipient. All those who get good sleep, whether in Vedanta class or at home or in your room, are very, very blessed. They are very, very blessed, because sleep is your own prarabdha. It is Bhagavan's blessing. That's why if anybody is sleeping, where? Not in their room. That I don't even know whether they are sleeping or not. If anybody is sleeping, where? In the Vedanta class, I never wake them up. Yes. Pujya Swamiji only we learn all these things from. Pujya Swamiji also would never wake up anybody sleeping. And then when I was studying with him, there was one gentleman who would sit in the middle of the room, 7 to 7:30 meditation class, and then 7:02, watch the breath, watch the mind. And it was so loud, it It was like a steam engine. I was so loud. And naturally the people from the class went and complained to Pujya Swamiji, Swamiji, this person is sleeping. This person is not just sleeping, snoring so loudly. Thankfully he had a single room, so nobody needed to be subject to this. But literally you could mark, you could look at your watch and say 7:02, it's going to start any time. It would start. Just 2 minutes into it. Swamiji said, he has earned this sleep. He has earned this sleep where? In his past life. It's his prarabdha. It is his prarabdha. So therefore what? Therefore all of you look at his sleep, not his sleep but his sound sleep. This is a new definition of sound sleep. Sleep, this is a samasa in Sanskrit. Sleep that makes a sound. And so he would say, don't fight that noise. Observe that noise and make it part of your meditation. And it was so effective, at least for me. Then after a few months he left because he was there only for a few months. Then I missed him, What am I going to focus on now? So, like that. So the sleep state is falsifiable from the standpoint of the dream and the waking, and the waking state falsifies the dream and the sleep states. But who will falsify the waking state? I only have to do that with the help of Atmajnanam. So the Kartritvam and Bhoktritvam are present in one particular place. That is why it is extremely difficult to falsify the waking state. The duality becomes real, my emotions and my reactions become real, everything becomes real. But yet, because of the exposure to this knowledge, that hold of this false reality slowly loosens up. And in the waking state also, one can be objective, one can be connected to everything but not enmeshed in anything. Whose question was this? Yours? Yeah, very nice question. Now, do we have to bear the consequences of the wrong actions done by our family? Short answer, thank God, no. You are responsible for whose action? Your own action, not that of the family. How do we know this? We know this, interestingly, through the story in the Ramayana. The man called Valmiki, before he was called a hunter, that man, this hunter of what? People. He was not hunting animals, he was hunting people in the middle of the night, hapless people who needed to cross the forest to go from one township to another. He would say, stand and deliver everything to me. What am I going to get? You are going to get free Vairagya. I am not going to charge you for the Vairagya that you are getting. Give me all your possessions and go, otherwise I will chop your head off. And if anybody said, no, I am not giving my bag of coins, he would kill. He had no compunctions. He stole, he killed, he intimidated. And then one day again, the same things. Stand and deliver. Who was that? Narada, sage Narada. When sage Narada comes into your life, be prepared for a spurt of self-growth. He is the sage of self-growth. That's why people mistakenly think he is the troublemaker. He is no troublemaker at all. He is no troublemaker. He just gives a wake-up call. And most people do not want growth. Most people do not want to wake up. That's why they call him troublemaker. They want to be asleep in their delusions. And so that's why they call him, poor fellow, has been misunderstood as a troublemaker. And then, stand, give me everything. And he had one bag, the kind that most people in Rishikesh carry. So he had, it's called jhola. So he said, here, take. Where is the gold? There is no gold. There are 4 chapatis packed for dinner. That's all there is. But you can have all of them. Don't worry. You don't have to give anything back. Take all of them. I don't need to share. You can have the whole thing. No, I want gold. I want gems. I don't have anything. And besides, you know what? You are doing a very wrong thing, Narada says. You are robbing the people. This is papa karma. What is this papa karma? He didn't know. Papa karma means you will suffer for it. All the people that you have made them to cry, all of them who you have made to cry, all of them that you have injured, cut off their body parts, all of them you have killed, you will be made to suffer either in this or the other lives. Still the ahankara does not go for this fellow. What does he say? I'm doing it for my family. Really? Go ask your family if they will take part in your papa. Of course they will. They love me very much. I'm the best in their eyes. Okay, go. I'm not going to leave you here. You may run away. No, I'll be staying here only. And for good measure, he ties Narada to a tree and then runs home. The family is frightened to see him because you see, those are his working hours. Yeah, if suddenly somebody comes home when they are supposed to be at office from 9 to 5 and they come at 11 o'clock, then you are worried for them. What, is everything okay? Have you been laid off? This is the question that you will ask. But here, what happens? The family said, what happened? What happened? Are you okay? Are you injured? What happened? Is the police behind you? Should we close the door immediately? What happened? No such thing. Everything is okay. But this stupid fellow put a bug in my head. What is the bug? They say that I am doing papa karma. And the family is silent because the family knows what he is doing is what? Papa karma. He is doing papa actions. Definitely. And then as a result of that, he will accrue papa. They know that. And then so they don't say anything. He says, but you all love me, right? First he asks his elderly parents, you all love me, right? You both love me. I'm your only son. And then you will share some of my papa. They say, no, we won't share your papa. Why? Because we educated you and we wanted you to be something different. You chose this life. We are elderly and weak and cannot take care of ourselves, so we have nowhere else to go. That's why we are staying here. We don't condone what you are doing. Then he talks to the kids. Children, you know daddy loves you so much. Yesterday I got you a toy, remember? And then now it is said that daddy is performing papa karma, and for this terrible things I have to face, you will share some of those things, right? They said, leave us alone. We don't know what all that is. We don't want anything. And if it's about this toy, you can have it back. We are not going to be blackmailed to experience your papa. Then who is left? Wife. Wifey, honey. You're going to be by my side, right? Ardhangini means half of everything you get. And then you are going to share some of my papa, correct? And she says, it is my papa to be married to you. I'm already having so much papa by being married to you. And the Narada that went home, the Valmiki that went home and the Valmiki that returned to Narada were two different Valmikis. First one was storming with ahankara, very riding high. And the other one just came back like this, with the weight of the papa. And he was told to chant Ramanama to obliterate, neutralize some of that papa. And then, so therefore, you do not have to bear the consequences of the wrong action done by the family. They do not become part of your karma. Specifically, parents. Yeah, specifically parents. If we are benefiting by anyone in any way, we know he is doing wrong. Does that get added to our karmas? Yes. Second one, yes. First one, no. See, children are not responsible, correct? Children are not responsible because they don't know what a robber is. Born to a robber, they did not decide to be born to a robber. They are small, they are innocent. But then after they grow up and they have means of their own, they are no longer dependent. Then what happens? Then to benefit from that papa karma will give a small papa. A small papa will be there if you are benefiting. So better to not benefit from that papa. Try not to benefit from that papa. Then, since we are one consciousness, wouldn't awareness also be one? Or does awareness only exist at the individual gross level of the body? If awareness is one, self-realization should also be one, correct? Well, I wish. Yeah, but here one more thing I wanted to say about this papa thing. One way of getting rid of all papa is what? Atmajnanena. That is the way. Because papa also is mithya. Papa also is dependent upon Atma. Papa also is part of this projected Jagat and Ishvara Srishti, Papa Punya. So Papa Punya are models. You have to look upon it as a model in physics, how we look upon a model. Because it has a certain function and a use. What is the function of this Papa Punya? The function of this Papa Punya is to make one aware of oneself and to make one grow. Aware of oneself means one's actions, and to make one grow, to do the right thing. That is the purpose of Papa Punya, is it not? So therefore, what do? You learn how to not do the wrong thing. You learn how to do Punya Karma, the right thing you learn how to do. And then this Papa Punya is like a bank account, as we have seen earlier this morning. And then when the person gets knowledge, the person dies to this reality of duality. And what happens to Papa Punya? It's like the dead person's bank account or the dream check. What use is the dream check in waking? No. What use is the Papa Punya for the awakened one? Similarly, it is dream-like. It is totally dream-like. For the awakened one, there is no Papa Punya because I have awakened myself from the stupor thinking that I am Karta. If I am Karta, then Bhokta will come. If I am the doer, then only I will accrue the results of action and become an experiencer. But here I know I am not the doer, I have awoken to the fact that I am not the doer, so everything that I have done is not going to touch me. Only prarabdha continues, people say, because as soon as you become a jnani, you don't die. Thank God. Imagine what would happen. Nobody will come for a 3-month course. Yeah, dangerous. And we will have to, as the ashram, we will have to write a disclaimer. Please know that if you get self-knowledge in these 3 months, you will die. Sign on the dotted line. So that, of course, you will not sue us, we know that, but your family and loved ones should not stake a claim. What have you done to our loved one? So, so the person in the second month of the 3-month course gets it in the study of the Mundakopanishad. Yes, I saw it. Then what would happen? Terrible things would happen. First terrible thing that would happen is that there are no more enlightened teachers. No teachers. Forget students. No student will even touch Vedanta with a 10-foot pole. That's aside. But there are no more teachers also. Teachers also are not there. What kind of teachers? Teachers who know are not there. So who is teaching? Teachers who don't know. Yeah. So will you get knowledge after learning from teachers who don't know? Absolutely not. So thank God, the arrangement, Bhagavan is so clever. The arrangement is such that after self-knowledge, you get to enjoy the self-knowledge while being in this dilapidated body. You are not attached to this body, you are not identified with this body. You are still enjoying self-knowledge as neither karta nor bhokta, happy all the time, unencumbered all the time. And then, so the other people say, oh, the jnani is subject to prarabdha. But the jnani himself is not attached to the body, is not identified with the body. So the jnani will say, what prarabdha? I don't even have prarabdha. All karmas are gone. So in the beginning we take karma seriously. Afterwards all karmas are gone. Now, one more thing I wanted to say about the previous question before we take up the next one. In the previous question, if the parents are doing something wrong, will I get some karma? Yes. And then, but at the same time, don't feel too bad about this, because we are all getting karma, bad karma, from just living in this world. The military industrial complex, where warmongering becomes a way of life, where manufacturing of arms becomes, the primary thing. So once you manufacture the arms, then what do? Just sit like that with throwing your arms? No. You have to foment conflict, and people do this on the political level, high up level, at the level of nations, and even beyond that, people who are in who are in high states of power, they will say, we have to now use this up, we have to sell this to somebody, and if the whole world is peace and in Om Shanti pose, then nobody is going to buy these weapons. So these weapons of mass destructions, such as the nuclear bomb, which is neither new nor clear to me, and this nuclear bomb and all these things, I have to sell. So who will buy? Nobody will buy. So what do I have to do? I have to make them scared first. So first we will stage a little rebellion, and then we will scare the people, and then go to them and say, first you create the need, and then you go, first you make it rain, and then go sell them the chhatri, umbrella. This is what they do. So this is Kali Yuga. Kali Yuga, there is not a single source of employment that is free of papa. Ayyo, what should I do? Come to the ashram. Okay? Yeah, so that's all there is left to do. In fact, the Shastra itself says this. In the Purana it is said, Kalau kalmasha chittanam papadravya upajivinam vidhikriya vihinanam harer namaiva kevalam, or Govinda gatir Govinda sankirtanam. Two pathabhedas are there, two versions are there. So what is the first one? So Kalau means in Kali Yuga. The word Kali itself means strife, conflict and bad news. So in this Yuga called Kali Yuga, and who are the people in Kali Yuga? Kalmasha Chittaha. Who is Kalmasha Chittaha? Kalmasha Chittaha means people who have disturbed mindsets, disturbed by longings, disturbed by attachment, disturbed by grief, disturbed by greed, disturbed by discontentment, all these things. So in Kali Yuga, everybody has what? Kalmasha Chitta, a disturbed mindset. And then what else are they? As though this is not enough, what else are they doing? Papadravya upajivinam. Upajivi means the livelihood maker. So the one who makes the livelihood only through materials sullied by papa. Papadravya upajivinam. And who are these people? Vidhikriya vihinanam. They are not following the Vedas. Please do it this way. No, I won't. Even just common sense. Forget Veda, even common sense things. Please do it this way. No, I won't. Please share what you have. No, I won't. It's all for me. Don't look at my lunch box. This is how the thinking is. Vidhi is not there. How to do, what to do, when to do, how not to do, what to say, what not to say, when not to say, nobody knows anymore. Kriya means again, Vidhi with regard to, Vidhi means rules, disciplines with regard to actions, disciplines with regard to speech, nothing is there. Vidhi Kriya Vihinanam, for such people, please just chant Govinda Sankirtanam. Please say Govinda, Govinda, at least purify yourself. So, don't think, so whether the parents are doing wrong or not, I don't know, but every parent is doing that. Apparently, everyone is doing that. Everybody who's had a job has accumulated papa, because somehow that job is harming somebody somewhere at some point. We don't have any such altruistic job anymore. So therefore, take it with this understanding. Now, consciousness and awareness we use simultaneously here, synonymously. So it is not that awareness and consciousness are two different things. Yes, we may use the word awareness as it pertains to this, as consciousness obtains in this body mind sense complex, but then we use consciousness when talking about the whole. But still, it's the same word, awareness. Consciousness is one, yes, but still a whole lot of people show up at the dining hall when the dinner bell rang. Correct? Yeah. If consciousness is one, why should we all eat? Tell me. One person should eat. We should, just like we have seva roster, we should have eating roster. Yeah. Ashram will save money also. Yeah. Eating roster. Today you eat for the rest of the people. Tomorrow you. Day after tomorrow you. All 3 meals. But that is not the case. Each one has to bring their plate, each one has to stand in line, each one has to be served, each one has to eat. And that's the same reason each one has to be present and each one has to be sitting in class for all the classes, from meditation to satsang. For all the classes one has to be present and one has to gain this knowledge singly. Why? Because consciousness doesn't need this knowledge. Consciousness is already enlightened, correct? Consciousness does not require this knowledge. Consciousness does not need to be enlightened. Does the body need to be enlightened? No. It is jada, it is inert. Body also doesn't need to be enlightened. Mind and buddhi are also inert. They shine in borrowed light of consciousness, so they also don't need to be enlightened. What needs to be enlightened is the one who needs to be enlightened is the person who says, I cannot stand self-ignorance. Who is that? Aham, ahankara, exactly where the I notion obtains, that is what needs to be enlightened. So, even though we say there is one I, how many ahankaras are there? So many ahankaras, because that identification is individual. I don't identify with all the bodies and minds. No. Even after Atma Jnanam, there is a natural identification with one's own body. This is Prakriti. And so, therefore, I can't tell if somebody else is hungry or not. I just know when I am hungry. This is Prakriti. This is called Sahaja Tadatmya, which is Ishvara Srishti. It is made by Ishvara. And so therefore what? So therefore this means that the individual ahankara, which is in the spell of agrahanam and anyatha grahanam, agrahanam not knowing, anyatha grahanam knowing myself to be what I am not, taking myself to be what I am not, that is anyatha grahanam. Because of that, the person suffers, and so the one who says, one who owns up Atma Ajnanam and says, I have self-ignorance, is the one that needs to remove it. Because the Ajnanam sits in each and every body, mind, sense complex. It's not just out there by itself. So that's why don't stop coming to classes, okay, and thinking that I have told my roommate, yeah, please get this knowledge for me. Yeah. If awareness is one, should, yeah, with this we have seen, if one is liberated, all are liberated. So if one is liberated, all are not liberated. One has to look for and attune with, discover that each one has to discover, I am liberated. Can you have more than one guru? Sure, go for it. Have how many ever you want, no problem. Okay, because those days of having one guru and sitting at the feet of that guru are what? Gone. And those people who have studied with one guru are also becoming greatly endangered species. Yeah, you won't find. And in fact, even my own guru, Pujya Swamiji, studied with 3 gurus. Yes, he studied with Swami Chinmayananda ji, he studied with Pranavananda ji in Gudipada in Andhra Pradesh, and then finally here in our own Rishikesh he studied with Swami Tarananda ji. So it doesn't matter, I think it's difficult to have all gurus at the same time, it will be a little confusing, so have them one after the other, okay? Yeah. So, since we are not the doers, nor the doing is happening through us, we ideally shouldn't have any karma. Correct? You are getting there. You are on it. Keep at it. Okay? Yes. Ideally, you don't have karma. Really speaking, you don't have karma. Oh, but I feel guilty. Okay, then that means what? You are accepting that provisionally that you are affected by karma. If you are provisionally affected by karma, by doings and feel done in by other people's doings, I can't stand my own omissions and commissions, and I can't stand the omissions and commissions of others, that means what? That means I am subject to guilt, I am subject to hurt, I am subject to karma. This is mithya. That I am subject to karma is mithya, because the reality is what you just said. I am akarta, abhokta. So, but then this is my reality right now. Even though I am akarta, abhokta, what am I feeling? Guilty, hurt. So therefore, this has to be looked into, because you cannot dismiss the guilt and say I am not guilty, because the guilt is experienced, and yet the guilt is not real. It is, don't make me take out that piece of paper. What it is what? Now we can just invisibly I can go like this. You will understand. It is as though it is. So the guilt is as though, hurt is as though, karma is as though, karma phala is as though. I have to understand this as though. Okay, yes. So therefore, that itself should, this is very encouraging, because we know why we have to pursue this knowledge, so that we get rid of guilt and hurt. These all there are A, B, C, D, E, F, 5A, 5B, 5C, 5D, 5E. Okay, so then we will see these two. Also question 6, question 7, and then the other question we will see tomorrow. TBC, to be continued. You can ask more questions also. Okay, so we can do that. You can keep this on the side, and we can just, so that they don't get mixed up. This you keep, this you throw. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha.